Alright, so I've gone ahead and done a video on almost every single update that the Killing Floor 3 Discord has produced from the official company Tripwire. They have their own Discord, that's where I'm getting all my information from, basically. So if you haven't already, go to their Discord, become like a member of the community. You can chat with other people with the Discord community if you want, or with the Killing Floor community, I should say, if you want. Get other people's opinions, stuff like that. That's kind of where I get a lot of my information. But they've gone ahead and released a new trailer, and this is on their YouTube, but I got notified on Discord, therefore I'm doing a video to keep that track record. And I'm pretty excited about the game. I've been excited for Killing Floor 3 for over a year since they basically announced it, pretty much with that teaser trailer all the way back in 2024, yeah, 2023 December, maybe, somewhere around there. I can't remember. It's been a while, but ever since it's been announced, I've been waiting for this game. I'm craving a horde shooter. Call of Duty does not do it for me in big 2025. I'm hoping Killing Floor 3 can do it for me. They've gone back. This trailer, basically, they've gone back. They've touched up a lot of the areas of previous maps, and I think even the new maps, and they've touched up a lot of the sort of designs of things in terms of just graphically what they look like. So instead of that sleek, polished look, which was a lot of the beta, at least from my point of view, I did get beta access. I did play, I think it's 10 to 20 hours roughly in the beta, so I spent a little bit of time in the beta. I got every character to like level 7, and I used pretty much every weapon. But yeah, I enjoyed my time in the beta. It was buggy, it was a mess. I'm glad we got the delay, but this is the new trailer they're dropping. They're also doing this stuff with IGN Live on the June 7th and 8th if you haven't already found out, or if you didn't hear about it, now you know. So tune into that live stream. I'll probably be watching it as well for the Killing Floor 3 news. I'm not really a big fan of IGN, but if I get to see some Killing Floor gameplay, it'll make up for it. But with that being said, I'm going to go through a breakdown of the trailer, and let's just get into it. So this, I believe, is Army Depot, okay? And I do think what they did with City Streets, and if you don't know, feel free to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, because I've already done a video on what they did with City Streets. But they gone back and they completely changed a lot of the parts of City Streets in terms of like what it looks like. Like they changed it changed it from daytime to nighttime to fit a more horror vibe, and then they added a bunch of writing on the walls, they added gore everywhere, and they made it look a lot more gritty, and I think that's what this trailer basically is saying. The 4Gs, guts, gore, grit, I think, and then something else I can't remember. But they're really big on these 4Gs as far as all the updates are going, which I'm pretty happy with. So it looks like they're going to all the maps that they've already created and the ones from the beta, and they're going back and they're like sort of touching it up, adding things here and there just to make it feel more like a Outbreak vibe, I guess. More of like a, apocalypse is about to happen sort of feel. A big thing they did say in their packs, if you missed it, they do want to go for more of a serious tone with this game, rather than having like a lot of the goofy stuff they had in Killing Floor 1 and 2. Not that it was bad, but in my personal opinion, I kind of prefer a more serious tone with a lot of gore related games, I guess. Especially like horde shooters and stuff like that. I feel like when you add too many Easter eggs, sort of like Call of Duty, and when you add too many sort of like meme things, like the chicken suit, I guess, from Killing Floor 2, stuff like that, it sort of breaks the immersion of like you're in this, horrific world, and you're supposed to be scared of the things around you, and then all of a sudden your buddy right next to you is just wearing literally the cock suit, you know what I mean? Or you're playing a character just called Bad Santa. It's like stuff like that is a little immersion breaking on like my personal opinion. So I'm excited for Killing Floor 3 and to see what direction they're going in. But yeah, it looks like they're going back. They're touching up on the maps. Let's continue. So here they've touched up a lot of the weapons and added like dirt details and stuff like that. I know this is like, if you're already like, I mean, who cares? It's just like a little dirts, and they're just adding fucking little things here and there, like rust to weapons. I want my perks separated from characters. I understand, okay? I know a big, large part of the community wants that, but um, I I personally think the team that's working on like this graphical change and everything is completely different than the team that's working on separating the characters from the perks, which they've already said, if you don't know, it's on their to-do list. It might be on their whiteboard at the workplace, all right? And they're trying to basically um, they're trying to separate the perks from the characters like the previous games, if you're familiar with that. But I'm happy we're getting like little touches here and there. If they're doing like this level of little detail, you know, adding gore and shit to weapon camos and base weapon skins and adding the grit to all these maps and everything, sky's the limit when it comes to what sort of little details they're going to be looking for in the game, you know, and this might promote them to do a lot more motion capturing, and that's why they've already done some with some of the AI tweaks. So I'm pretty excited, you know. They're doing a lot of little things, but a lot of little things equal one big thing, if you know what I mean. So I'm pretty happy with what they're doing with this. I did feel like in the beta, everything was way too polished, way too sleek for like an Outbreak-esque world. It felt very like the Outbreak is just now happening, where with all this additional like equipment and everything like that, getting all this gore and stuff, it kind of feels like you're in the Outbreak, you know, and like you're going to areas and killing shit so that you can clear it for maybe something else, you know, like civilization to come back, basically, you know. Feels more of like you're offensively killing things rather than reactively killing the Zeds, if you kind of get what I mean. But yeah. And then it looks like they touched up all the operators. They gave them a little bit more detail. I think Devlin's always had this mark here, but you know, I like the little details. They got like the markings here, makes the characters look like they actually were in one of the zones of the Outbreak, maybe. You know, maybe they could add that to the lore, stuff like that. I like the details here. I think Obi's gloves were originally just pure green. I really like the way these gloves look, you know. Hey, trailer might be about little details. I'm a nitpicker, all right? So I like this stuff. You know, I like these little details here and there. You know, Foster having that little break in his gas mask. I like this shit. All right. So I think it's W changes, but yeah. W soundtrack as always. This is Biotic Labs for sure. And you can just see like literally half a torso with the guy's spinal cord there. Then you just see a bunch of other little details around, showing off more weapons. This is the new City Streets, so if you didn't know what City Streets looked like before, it was not this, alright, I'll tell you that. So, I think this is really cool looking. I like the red mist over here. Big fan of that. And yeah, that was the trailer. Game releases July 24th. Pre-order now. But yeah, I'm excited. I think these are W changes. I'm happy Killing Floor is doing their best. Or I should say Tripwire is doing their best to like really try to get everything they possibly can done before this game releases. You know? The beta was, in my opinion, it wasn't like as bad as people were saying. Now, obviously, bugs and everything are different because if there's bugs making it so you can't fucking play the game, that's a big problem. But I just mean in terms of like the weapon mod system, I enjoyed. The weapons, I didn't mind. There does need to be more, alright? But everything seems to be looking up right now for Killing Floor. The one thing that I will say, as the community for Killing Floor 3, when I get this game and when when I'm playing this game and everything, we do need to make sure the devs are held to, like, accountable, I guess I should say. Devs are held accountable for the mistakes they make along the way throughout the development, because this is supposed to be a live service game, and obviously the W's that they eventually end up making. So, I'm excited. I'm happy about the changes. All the changes I'm talking about. But this trailer showcased just a lot of little stuff, which a lot of little stuff goes a really long way in my personal opinion. But with all that being said, I want to thank you for watching, making it all the way to the end of this video, and I hope you have a good day.